All right, you guys, welcome back to the channel.
Welcome back to the vlog.
Kind of a vlog, like, just me spitting my thoughts to you. Today, we're talking about something that is very important, and that is how the next recession is going to kill millennials. Now, what does that mean for you and I? I am a millennial, and I'm really hoping that it's not going to kill me, but there are some very important details that need to be discussed today in order for you to not get killed and be able to make money. The thing that I see from a lot of my friends is, oh, we're going to make so much money during the next recession. We're going to buy low and we're going to sell as it runs up. And I think there's some things that we really need to be real about and we really need to talk about, because if you don't have any money to invest in the bottom and you're scared out of your mind, it's gonna be bad for you. In today's video, we're gonna cover how to avoid a lot of that. All today on Young Money Investment. All right, you guys, so one of the scariest things I think for me as a financial teacher, I'm gonna lean back, relax, talk, just relax with you guys. One of the scariest things for me as a financial teacher here on YouTube is that I hear so many millennials sit there and talk to me about, I'm gonna make so much money when the economy crashes, when housing prices drop, when stock prices drop, I'm gonna put all my money into stocks and I'm gonna make a boatload and everything's gonna be great. And I think there's some things that millennials are really forgetting that they actually have to do and that will affect them during a recession. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in today's video. Now, as always, I want to give you kind of where I'm getting some of this information from. This is obviously an article from The Atlantic, from Annie Lowry. And so I wanted to point out where I'm getting my facts from. If you want, you can obviously find the title up here. You can search the article, you can read through it. And if you do and you want to put some comments down below, please feel free to do that. It's also a great plug to smash that thumbs up button. But with that being said, one of the things that is really important is to talk about some of the issues that might be coming from a potential recession. Now, Annie here in the article obviously says the trade war is dragging on, the yield curve is inverting, investors are fleeing to safety, which is gold. Obviously, those are one of the things that have been going up quite a bit lately. And global growth is slowing. The stock market is dipping. The millennials are screwed. Oh my gosh. Here's another doomsday article. Another person saying that the markets are falling. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. Jack and the Beanstalk. Let's take a deep breath and let's listen to this and read here calmly. Now, she makes a great point here. She says, recessions are never good for anyone. Obviously, a sputtering economy means miserable financial, emotional, and physical health consequences for everyone from infants to retirees. But the next one, if it happens, when it starts happening, stands to hit this generation particularly hard. For adults between the ages of 22 to 38, after all, the last recession really never ended. Now, I want to throw my 2 cents in there. Did the last recession ever really end? Yes, it did. There's been a lot of great growth. There's been a lot of things great that happened financially. If you look at this from a glass half empty, negative opinion, sure, you could say that it never ended. But guys, there's been a lot of growth and prosperity that's happened in the past 10 years. I don't agree with that whatsoever. Now, a couple of the points that she does make in here that I do agree with is she says kids of the 1980s and 1990s have a new huge financially catastrophic demand on their meager post-recession earnings. To $1 trillion of educational debt, about a quarter of Gen Xers who went to college took out loans to do so, compared with half of millennials, and millennials ended up taking out double the amount of the Gen Xers in terms of student loans. No wonder, given that cost of tuition, tuition has gone up more than 100% since 2001, even after accounting for inflation. You guys, now we're getting somewhere. This is actually something that's interesting to me, is the fact that yes, tuition has gone up astronomically. I think college is way overpriced for most people our age. I think that college and going to college always was a thing that you were supposed to do in your adulting and maturing life. And now, honestly, I don't believe that you need to do that. I don't believe that that is a part of the growth process. Do I think some education is great? Going to college is good. Yes, I do believe those things. But do I believe that you need to go and get $30,000, $40,000, $100,000 worth of student loan debt in order to get a decent paying job? No, I do not believe that. I am living proof of that there are other opportunities and other ways to educate yourself without having to go to these schools and learn from oftentimes professors that learn from a textbook themselves in order to teach you, and they didn't even do it the old-fashioned way, going out there, putting their boots on, pounding the pavement, doing those kinds of things. So, but yeah, that is something very interesting that I think you need to pay attention to. And if you haven't taken out student loans, don't do it without thinking about the consequences of those things. The next interesting point here that is made is that the generation's homeownership rate is a full 8% points lower than the Gen Xers of the baby boomers, or the baby boomers, pardon me, when they were the same age. The median age of home buyers has risen all the way up to 46 years old, the oldest it has been since the National Association of Realtors started keeping records 4 years ago. The article goes on to say, as a result, millennials have not benefited from the dramatic rebound in housing prices that has occurred since the financial collapse and the foreclosure crisis. Millennials have also been forced to shell out hundreds of billions of dollars in rent as housing costs have skyrocketed in many urban areas. Now, in terms of those things that she said, I totally agree with that. I agree that most millennials, and I speak for myself, still have not purchased a home. I have not purchased a home for the simple reason that I have been saving up. I've been putting my money more into stocks as opposed to putting it in real estate. And honestly, the reality of the situation is I don't see buying a house when it is super expensive and I'm not getting a good deal, and especially when I'm getting such a great return in the stock market. Now, that's me personally. I think a lot of reasons a lot of millennials have not bought in homes is because, like it said, the debt that they're having to pay off makes it impossible to be able to afford home ownership and kind of all the costs that go with it. Now, some of you are going to go, oh my gosh, Cameron, you're not thinking about this straight. You're blowing money when you're renting. Are you serious? Yes, that is very true. You're not building equity in a home, but renting is not as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. And renting can actually be beneficial for a lot of people. Yes, you're not building equity in a home, and yes, those things are important. But so many people, especially some of the older generations, the Gen Xers, like baby boomers, all of them, they think that anyone that buys a home, they're buying an asset. And oftentimes you can be buying a depreciating asset. If it is not making you money in one way, shape, or form, if the appreciation of that house is not exceeding the amount of money that you are putting out, you're not buying an appreciating asset. And I think a lot of people forget that. Now, with that being said, I do think that buying a house is important. I do think that establishing and finding the right deal is very crucial. I think that buying a house is like an important life step, and it is one of those things that is nice that if you can get to the point where you can't afford to buy a house, I say do it, especially buying the right home. But I don't think getting into a house early on at a young age is important in today's society. There's so many other ways you can invest your money now. Now, this was a very interesting thing that I found here in the article, is that it says cost pressures have also made it difficult for or impossible for millennials to save or invest. The share of Americans under age 35 who own stocks has meandered down from 55% in 2001 to 37% in 2018, in part because employers are less likely to offer retirement savings plans, in part because millennials have nothing left over at the end of the month to put away. Virtually all members of the cohort are not saving adequately. Experts warn 2/3 of millennials have zero retirement savings. This means that millennials have benefited not a bit from the decade-long boom in stock prices as their parents and grandparents have. Now, here are my 2 cents on that. A, if you're here watching this channel, that is most likely not you. So you don't really fall into that category. Now, does that scare me? Absolutely. That obviously is a scary thought, that there are a lot of millennials out there that are not saving, that are not putting money into stocks. And that's why on my Instagram, I'm always posting things. If you don't follow me yet, go follow me. But with that being said, I think there are a lot of millennials out there that do believe that investing is good. We have the very best opportunity out of any of the previous generations to invest ourselves. And if you're watching this channel, like I said, you already understand that it's so important. If you have friends or family that are not investing, tell them to get going. Share this video with them. Tell them, hey, you should be investing. You should be putting your money away. If you're not, what the heck are you doing? And basically, you guys, this article simply just goes on to say, you know, if you are a millennial, you are at a big disadvantage for when this recession comes. And I want to give you my 2 cents on it. Sure, the whole theory and the whole thing behind a recession, that time is going to be scary. Yeah, it's going to be really scary. I don't know how else to put it to you. A recession is going to be scary, and I think a lot of people are, you know, going back and thinking, oh, well, 2008, like I remember there was like a recession. I was like in grade school and, you know, things weren't great. You don't understand the financial strain that is a recession unless you actually have gone through it yourself. And a lot of you probably that are talking about buying homes and buying a bunch of stocks don't really have that much cash set aside on the sideline. It's already invested right now, or you don't have enough and you're expecting this money to just poof appear out of thin air, and it's not going to do that. You need to be more disciplined in your saving. You need to be having a plan right now, because when the crap hits the fan, as they say, there is going to be a lot of things that are going to shake you emotionally and shake you inside, and it's going to scare you, and a lot of times you won't be getting into stocks. And so this is my warning, my mysterious omen. Like, you guys, a recession is going to come. We don't know when. There's a million theorists out there that say it's going to be next week, next month. Some say it's going to be next year. Some say it's going to be this year. Some say it's going to be in 4 years. You guys, yeah, there's going to come a recession, and I wish it would just come and, we could deal with it and take care of it. But the reality is you just never know when it's going to happen. And so you need to be prepared. You need to have a plan. You need to just keep pushing through it. So that is my suggestion, you guys. I hope you found this video helpful, successful, and it will help you prepare for your financial future. If you felt like you learned some new stuff, even if it was just 1 or 2 things, please hit that thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button. I always appreciate it. I love having a great big community with you guys, and I will catch you guys, yes, you guys, in the next video. If you want to be a part of my mentorship group, the link is down in the description. If you don't, that's okay too. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.